Welcome back. Did you know about 45% of women older than 20 years old live with some form of cardiovascular disease? Well, the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women movement continues to bring education and support to women around the capital region and beyond. Joining us now live at noon is a special guest, Ann Sale, the chair for the 2024 Go Red for Women Luncheon. Thank you so much for being here with us live at noon. I know you have been a big part of this event for the past 20 years, and it's quite a milestone.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I was the first chair of the Go Red event 20 years ago, and here we are 20 years later, having a near record crowd gathered together to learn more about heart disease. And so I'd like to talk to you about that.
Yeah, so what do you think people listening right now need to know first about heart disease?
You know, I think one of the most stunning things is that heart disease kills more women than all cancers combined.
Right.
And that to me is shocking. That, yeah, wow, people don't know that, they don't realize that how important it is to pay attention to your heart health. And women's symptoms are not exactly the same as men.
Right.
And so we need to pay attention and learn the signs and symptoms of that.
Right, and we know as women, we're always trying to take care of other people and make things work for other people, make sure other people are healthy and happy, our friends, our family, but we got to really worry about ourselves because that's how we're going to continue to be able to make sure everybody else is okay.
Right, that's so true. And taking a few minutes out to go to this lunch on November 8th. It starts at 10:30 with a lot of educational programs and it ends at 1:30. It's a few hours that people can devote to their own care and to learning more about heart disease. The Heart Association has been in existence for 100 years.
Right.
And they are very, very committed to research and advancing the, research for women, especially with Go Red, in our country.
Yeah, and you being involved in this for so long, you have seen the progression, you've seen the changes, you've seen the impact. Can you touch on that a little bit, just what has changed and for you, what you've seen?
Sure. I mean, fewer women die now than they did 20 years ago, but I've been personally impacted by the research of the American Heart Association. When I was 10 years old, and so the American Heart Association had been doing research at that point for decades. My mother, I was 10, my mother was 40, and she had a massive stroke.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you, and I remember the day that she had surgery for it. I overheard my uncles talking about where my brother and I would go and live when my mother died. And we would have been orphans. And it was devastating. But the wonderful thing is that the research the American Heart Association did saved my mother's life. Those physicians were able to save my mother's life. And she came out of the surgery with no side effects from having had a massive stroke. It was a miracle. And so I've never, ever wavered in my commitment to getting out education for more women and supporting the Heart Association. My mother was told she just had a bad headache, and it could have killed her.
Yeah, wow. And so you having that personal connection, you being involved for so long, you are such an inspiration to so many people. And you can see the passion in your eyes and you can feel it when you talk. Really, it's really true. And we need people like you to advocate for women and to make sure people know this is important. What do you want to say to women everywhere about this?
I want to say that it's important to think that it could happen to you. And that if you have any of the symptoms, if you have severe fatigue, if you have pains, you don't have to have a chest pain, you might have a shoulder pain, you get checked out, call your doctor. I mean, it's better to err on the side of it being nothing than to have a heart attack. And more women will die at their first heart attack than men, because men are checked for symptoms all of the time. Women's symptoms are often written off to stress. So it's important to have that conversation with your doctor.
So important to talk about that and for people to know that information. Now, our Sabrina Dami here at NewsChannel 13, the MC of the event, once again, she has been such a big part of this for you guys. I know you're very grateful. Anything new that you want to share about this year, or is it all kind of just everything, the same as usual and you guys are just getting more and more people involved?
Well, the wonderful thing is that the research that continues to go on will be shared at this event. So things that you didn't know, that you might not know, we might not even know today, will be coming out at the Go Red lunch. So it's very worthwhile to go, wear red.
Of course.
And you'll hear inspiring stories of people who have survived and benefited from the work of the Heart Association.
Right. It's about being together, support, learning, knowledge, awareness, all of the above, right?
All of the above. And we so appreciate the support for everything for the Heart Association and the people who benefit from it, because most of us will at some point in our lives.
Absolutely. Well, Ann, thank you so much for being here with us live at noon. I know it's going to be a great event on Friday. Again, our Sabrina Dami emceeing that event on Friday the 8th. We will have all the information you need on our website, WNYT.com.